the criteria is guys that are currently wrestling on a day-to-day basis, which means no Rock, no Triple H, no Undertaker, guys that come in and come out all the time. We need guys that are on the road year-round. Number 5 for me, a guy that's already been on your list, the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy. Phenomenal wrestler. This is a guy that's been getting it done since he first entered World Wrestling Federation with his brother Matt. Of course, we're talking Jeff Hardy, multiple-time TNA and WWE champion at number 5.
At number 5, I have Bully Ray, a man you had much lower, but this guy's been carrying the belt. He's the leader of Aces and Eights. He's one of the best heels and one of my favorite heels to watch in a long time. And he went from the guy who stutters with huge glasses tape in the middle to the guy who dominates on the mic, at least in TNA now. Bully Ray, number 5.
At number 4 for me, this is one that's probably going to be a little bit controversial for some. Number 4 for me is Ryback. Now, hear me out. You could say, well, he's not been around long enough to be this high. Over the last couple of weeks, he's really kind of turned the corner. I love what they're doing with his character. As long as they keep it in this direction, this is another guy that could either elevate himself, but I do fear that he will be knocked back down. But as of this taping, Ryback, number 4.
Ryback, he's one of only 2 guys that made me think about knocking Goldberg off as my favorite wrestler of all time. Batista was one, but he ended his career a little early. Ryback is the other guy, but he hasn't won a pay-per-view match ever, which is why he's not on my list. Continually gets beat up by the Shield, turns heel unnecessarily, drops one of the best wrestling lines ever and feed me. Well, I don't get it. I want to be a huge fan. He's got the potential. I just don't get it. My number 4 is AJ Styles. Been carrying the TNA banner for years. It's the house that AJ Styles built anytime you see Impact Wrestling.
Number 3 for me, another TNA guy. This is a guy, believe it or not, Adam, that really got me into wrestling. Believe it or not, this is a guy that's been around doing it in the business for more than a quarter century at this point. Sting. What else can you say? I mean, he is pro wrestling. He was WCW, and he's still getting it done today in TNA. Number 3 for me, Stinger.
I love me some Stinger as well. Number 3, I have CM Punk. The only reason I have CM Punk number 3 is because I have Sting above him. I won't tell you which slot. And I also have the Mr. You Can't See Me above him. But CM Punk, one of the best on the mic, a Paul Heyman guy, great technician in the ring, one of the best there is.
At number 2 for me, CM Punk. This is a guy, I rated him just a little bit higher. I mean, name me a better wrestler currently on the WWE roster.
I mean, he's up there, definitely up there. The first guy popped in my mind might be better in the ring is Daniel Bryan, but that'd be about it.
Well, those two can put on a heck of a match together. I hope WWE puts them in the program. I think that would be phenomenal. But for me, number 2, CM Punk.
Number 2 for me, and the only reason he's honestly not number 1 is because he became Mr. Fruity Pebbles, a la The Rock gave him that nickname. If he was still the doctor of thugonomics for me, it would be John Cena. It would be Mr. You Can't See Me. He's the most well-known wrestler there is in the world today, bar none, not even a close second, to be honest with you. Some people might argue with that, but my number 2 is John Cena, the Fruity Pebbles version.
And at number 1 for me is indeed Fruity Pebbles. Say what you will, like him, hate him. The bottom line is this. John Cena gets the biggest reaction of anybody in pro wrestling today. He is the most recognizable entity in WWE since Hulk Hogan. Therefore, John Cena, my number 1 wrestler of the modern era, like it or hate it.
Whoa. Since Hulk Hogan, read the shirt, my friend. What happened to Stone Cold Steve Austin? What happened to The Rock?
Stone Cold Steve Austin was not as internationally recognizable as Hulk Hogan was. I'm sorry. It's just a fact.
We're running a little short on time, so let me close out this segment. I'm going to go number 1, Sting. The man carried WCW. He's been a headliner for 20 years. One of the great all-time feuds against NWO Black and White Hulk Hogan back in the day. I got number 1, Sting. And as I'm looking through my list, I noticed that less than half of my top 10 list is WWE. I have 4 WWE guys, 5 TNA guys, and a Ring of Honor individual. And 3 of my top 5 are in the TNA. And I think that speaks a little bit to how I feel about the current WWE product. I actually find myself enjoying TNA just a little bit more. But that's my top 10, my top 5. I'm tall, you're short, I'm right, you're wrong.
And we'll be posting my correct top 10 as well as his incorrect top 10 up on fourthandpain.com. Be sure to check that out and tweet us your suggestions, your top 10 at Fourth and Pain.